Hi, my name is Mark Stevens. I'm the Vice President of Product Management for Media and Entertainment, and I'm joined here today with Director of Product Management Ken Pimentel and Director of Product Management Chris Viano. We're so excited to be working with our games industry customers. You know, this industry is changing so fast, and there's so many challenges, but also so many opportunities. We have data sets that continue to grow in size and just get bigger and bigger. People want more interactivity, more interesting worlds, but they have to do this on, not necessarily growing budgets. So it's a huge challenge for our customers, and that in turn means it's a huge challenge to us and how we can help them and bring solutions that help them solve those problems. Autodesk offers a pretty wide range of solutions to games creators today. I think we're pretty best known for our art creation tools. But if you look over the last couple of years, we've been starting to round out that portfolio with runtime technologies like Autodesk Scaleform or Autodesk Beast that allow us to be able to complement and provide runtime solutions to solve problems so people don't have to necessarily recreate those same things over and over each time they make a game. These are production-proven solutions that have been used in hundreds of game titles to date. We also have invested a lot in helping make the pipeline more efficient in getting art data out to the engine and out to the runtime technologies through our FBX solutions. FBX is now part of the pipeline of getting data from the art tools out to an engine for most third-party game engines, and also a lot of internal game engine pipelines. So we've also been looking at ways to improve the whole creative process from art creation out to runtime with things like Project Skyline. Project Skyline allows us to create a more live linked environment so people who are creating the art can see their results in the running game, in the runtime environment as they're creating the content. What does this mean? This means faster iteration times. This means more creative cycles. And in the end, it means a better game. So as everyone knows, there's been a huge growth in mobile and casual games over the last couple of years. And at Autodesk, we're trying to do everything we can to make sure that, from a pricing perspective, all our runtime technologies have price points that are accessible to people doing those types of games on those types of budgets. We've also recently launched and branded a website for all our runtime technologies called Gameware. So Gameware is a place where you can go to get all the information you need on the products, trial downloads, to be able to, for customers to be able to get their development support in a unique, consistent way across all the products. So now I'd like to hand things over to Ken Pimentel and Chris Viano, who are going to talk to you about some more of the details of the great releases we have coming up for 2013.
Hi, my name is Chris Viano, and I'm responsible for the Maya product management team. One of the interesting things that we're adding this year is the Ultimate Suite. And the Ultimate Suite, for the first time, allows you in one package to have Max and Maya. To make that work, and we have a lot of customers that use Max and Maya in their pipelines, we've enabled a one-click workflow between Max and Maya and vice versa so that you can take a CAT rig and convert it into an HIK rig on the other side and vice versa. This allows characters that were created in Max to be animated in Maya or vice versa. We also have a feature where if you use your motion capture workflow in MotionBuilder, you can have that motion capture stream live into Maya. So if you were to apply your rig and get the really high performant rig in MotionBuilder on set, you could have a Maya sitting right next to it where the motion capture data could stream live onto a Maya rig, a custom rig that matches what is in your game engine, and you can see the animation on target instead of having to capture it, clean it up, bring it into Maya, see there's a mistake with how the data applies to the rig, and then restart the process, which can be very costly in terms of motion capture. In addition to the great workflow features that we have in the suites, all the point products are also getting better with the 2013 releases. With Maya for games, the Viewport 2.0 is finally coming to the point where it's going to be used in all sorts of workflows. This time we focus specifically on modeling and on animation, so that instead of using Viewport 1.0, you can use Viewport 2.0 and get all the great rendering features that are in there and all the speed, but have access to all of the great modeling features and animation features that you were used to in Viewport 1.0. For Mudbox, we've really focused on high quality texture painting. We call it gigatexel texture painting. This allows you to bring a model in from Maya via FBX into Mudbox and paint at ridiculously high resolutions, higher than film, paint that in, and then through the workflow, the baking workflow, bring that back into Maya and then right on into your game. One of the great things that has been a great story for us this year has been the adoption of FBX. FBX has been something that Autodesk has been investing in for years. The suites over the last few years has kind of dominated the picture for FBX as we've really invested in the one-click workflows between the applications. But behind the scenes, one of the great stories that we've been tracking is the adoption of FBX in game engines. One of the game engines that started the trend was Unity. Unity has a completely FBX-based workflow for bringing assets in from all of our Autodesk tools, plus all of the other tools that people use to create content for games. This year, we've had a lot more adoption of FBX that we want to talk to you about. One of the great stories was Microsoft announcing that FBX was going to be part of their Visual Studio workflow for people that are creating and debugging games. So now, when you're creating a game, if you have a programmer, they can load your FBX assets with all of the textures and shaders into Visual Studio and be able to actually debug some of the content that's happening in the game. And this is a really great workflow for bringing artists and engineers together. One of the other really amazing stories was the adoption of FBX in Unreal Engine 3. So we worked very hard with Epic to allow Epic to replace Actor X with FBX as the way of getting content between all the DCC tools that you love from us into the Epic game engine. There's a lot of other engine companies that are adopting FBX internally for their internal tools, such as EA for their Frostbite engine for the last Battlefield series. And so we also have a lot of internal companies that are using FBX. What this means for artists is that you can go anywhere and actually have your content very easily flow into either off-the-shelf engines or into custom engines that big customers build for their internal pipelines.
Hi, I'm Ken Pimentel, Director of Media Design for Autodesk Media and Entertainment Division. One of the things that we tried to really work on this year was listening to our users. A year ago, we started a new forum. It's based on a user voice technology, and it allows users to post their ideas, allows other users to vote on those ideas, and basically what we see is a prioritized list of wishes that we can listen to. In one category, we have a forum dedicated to just the small, annoying things that really bug people about a product. And we went to that forum and we found roughly 16 key prioritized problems that we could work on, and we have addressed those concerns. And I think it's important that even the small things get addressed in a product release and not be about just big features. Another thing that we've done is build a place for people coming from other products. So for example, now a Maya user can come into Max and configure the user interface so it's very Maya-like. And this lets them use a feature of Max or use Max in some form or way without them having to relearn the basics. In games, we've also worked on some other capabilities in the 2013 release. One of these is we're introducing a new concept. It's an Autodesk Animation Store. And this is a project we've worked on with a company called Mixamo. It's a new idea because basically it's a place where somebody that needs to add character animation can go to this store, check out the motion. You can apply the motion to your character in Max, in scene. You can preview that motion. It's all automatically retargeted to your rig, and then you can purchase it. So it's an experiment in how to use the cloud to bring to people kind of a faster, deadline-based solutions. And we see some in like casual games or in broadcast where where maybe deadlines are important. It gives them ability to rapidly deploy character motion. gPoly is a new modifier. It talks to the GPU hardware such that when you apply it to your modifier stack in 3ds Max, you can get up to 10 times performance of over the 2012 release. So for example, if I have a bend modifier, I can apply the gPoly to it, to the stack, and basically I get 10 times the interactivity in working with that complex model. So that helps people really, rapidly iterate in a creative fashion. And finally, we did the Global Retimer. The Global Retimer gives you the ability to retime the entire scene rather than going through it object by object. And this lets people be more efficient in developing or adjusting their timings and saves them time. So a lot of different features there. There's a lot more in the release that we could talk about. But I think some of those are the key points we wanted to mention.